Hello, I decided to record some opening videos, and today I would like to show you Maroczy system. I would like to point that this system was analyzed in details by my friend Grandmaster Evgeny Romanov for Modern Chess website. I took part in this course, and today I can share one part of this. If you will be interested in this system, you can write to me and I can give an access to this course. Let's start our video. The Maroczy pawn structure is very popular. It can appear from different openings like the Sicilian Dragon, like King's Indian Defense, English opening. And it's very important to understand what are the plans for both sides in such pawn structure. What are the typical strategical ideas, what are the typical tactical tricks, yeah? What kind of endgames are okay for black, what are okay for white. And in this video I want to show you the best line for nowadays for black, in my opinion. Let's start from this position. The main move here is knight to f6, and after knight c3, castle, bishop b2, d6. This is the main line. It's not interesting for us. I'd like to recommend the move queen to b6, attacking the knight. Knight should go back to b3, protecting on b2, attacking the queen, and now queen to d8. Black is ready to make a draw by repetition. White should play on. The pawn is under attack. The first important moment in this position that after knight c3, black has a very typical strategical idea. Bishop takes on c3, b takes on c3, knight f6, f3, d6, and I draw the arrows. What are the typical plans for black here? The white pawns are weak over the c file, and black can use them in the long-term fight. So it's immediate counterplay for black. Because of this, white is playing queen to d2, protecting on b2 and preparing the development to c3. Now in case of knight c3, bishop c3, queen takes c3, white would be just better. Now knight f6 is the main black answer. White has two moves, how to protect the pawn on e4. White can start with knight c3, it's a possible move, but knight g4 can be an additional possibility for black. So let's start with f3, protecting on e4, covering the g4 square, castle, knight to c3, d6, bishop to e2. Instead of bishop to e2, there is an interesting plan. White can make a long castle and prepare the attack like h4, h5, like in the dragon. But in my opinion, black has enough counterplay. So bishop to e2, bishop to e6, preparing the piece pressure to the c4 pawn, castle, and knight to d7. Now you can see the black's plan. Usually black wants to play a5, a4, grabbing the space on the queen side. Then after knight's move, black's queen will be great placed on a5, or maybe it would be a great square for the knight, knight a5. In general, black wants to attack white's pawns in the center, especially the pawn on c4, preparing something like bishop b6, knight a5, and rook c8, and piece pressure to this pawn. And white can protect it playing b3, for example. In that case, a5, a4 can be a promising idea for black. White has two typical ideas here. The first idea is to play knight to d5. Sooner or later, after knight d5, probably black will take this knight, because this knight is super strong in the center. And after knight d5, bishop takes d5. Not in this position, just in general. White has a choice. White can take with the e-pawn, and this pawn structure can be very interesting. Or white can take with c-pawn, getting the symmetrical pawn structure with space advantage. All of this you can find in that course. Also, f4 can be an interesting idea for white, preparing f5, attacking the bishop. In this video I would like to show you two possible variations. Let's start with the rook c1 move. Black can play pawn to a5. After a5 I would like to show you a funny line. White can play knight to a4, blocking the pawn. In that case black can play knight to b4, the very strong reply. Now white's pawn on e2 is under attack, and it looks natural to play a3, but this move is wrong, and here you can stop the video and try to find the way for black how to get a serious advantage. After a3 black can play knight to a2, attacking the rook, and now it's obvious that knight on b3 is under attack, it's not protected now. After rook a1 black can play b5, a very strong move, and black's position is much better. Of course, knight a4 is not the best move, and knight a1 was played in the game Pankratov against Vahidov. a4, knight to c2, queen to a5, knight to a3, knight b6, rook fd1, and white got a slightly better position, and Pavel managed to win this, but black's position was very solid, and in general I highly recommend you to analyze the games of Uzbekistan Grandmaster Jahangir Vahidov. He is a very big specialist in such system, especially in queen b6 line. Now let's go back to the most promising line for white. In this position white can play pawn to f4, threatening f5 move, attacking the bishop, knight c5, knight d4, exchange on d4, bishop d4, queen b6. Just a few words about the black strategy. Black has less space, and because of this black is looking for a rotate of his minor pieces. It will help him to improve his position. So rook a to d1, bishop takes d4, queen to d4, and in this position queen takes b2. It's a wrong solution for black. f5, rook b1 and rook f3. White gets very strong attack, exchange, and knight d5 with very bad position for black. So in this position black is playing pawn to f6, and you can find the game Dominguez against Vahidov from the World Cup. There Dominguez played b3, a5, rook fe1, a4, and black got slightly worse position, and later Vahidov made a draw. So in general it's okay for black. My recommendation is to play rook d2 in this position, and after this I guess the best solution for both sides is knight d7, queen to b6, knight b6, b3. So let's take a look at this position. White has more space. In the future white can prepare h4, h5, grabbing even more space. Also c5 or e5 can be powerful breaks in the center, but black's position is very solid, and in general I think that the game should end in a draw, and it's a good idea for black to play for an equality. But black's position is very solid, black doesn't have any weaknesses, and in my opinion black can hold a draw easily. This is not like a full equality, but this is much better than black can get in other systems of the Maroczy. I hope you like this opening research. Of course you can find more in the database of my friend, and if you're interested, write to me, I'll give you access to this course. I will be happy to see your likes and comments. Thank you for watching, see you in the next videos.